Hello guys, welcome back. In today's video, it's going to be a bit different. I'm going to talk about something that I've never talked about on this channel. So, yes, I am potentially quitting game development for a while. Probably indefinitely, to be honest with you. Now, the simple reason is that I just don't enjoy some aspects of it. Like as an example, making levels, and that just happens to be a huge aspect of game development. And I just don't enjoy that much. And sadly, there's no way to like streamline the process of making levels. Um, and sadly, it's like a majority of the time that you're going to be spent making a game is going to be spent making levels. So yeah, I've created this little illustration thing here to show what I mean. Basically, like it's some sort of feedback loop. You have like making levels and stuff that you don't enjoy and stuff that you enjoy. You kind of like have like this like uh it's kind of like what's the word? God damn it. I literally just like trained this right before recording and I've already forgotten the words that I was meant to say. That's unfortunate. But like you kind of just like look into the future and be like, tomorrow I'm gonna do some programming, um, and so you can keep yourself motivated like that. But sadly, in reality, you don't do that enough programming to be able to do that. This stuff that I don't enjoy, which makes up a huge amount. Now, most of the other stuff, besides making levels, can be streamlined, so they're relatively minor. But making levels is really difficult to streamline without um, making it without potentially making a really shit game. So yeah, for this feedback loop to theoretically work, you would need at least you would need around 50% of the time where you're programming, and 50% of the time where you're doing something that you don't like. Uh, in my case, at least. This would mean that I have something to look forward to when making levels, while making levels and so on. And it's not like in reality I don't have something to look forward to. It's just like if I'm 20% of the time programming, then I'm going to just be spending like a good portion of that time just not work. Then each week I'm going to be spending 1 to 2 days of that week programming, and the other 5 6 days I'm going to be spending on making levels and other stuff. Meaning, like when you look forward to stuff, it's like, oh, the next 4 days I'm going to spend doing this thing that I don't like. So I'm not going to bother doing it because I'm like, man, I don't have anything to look forward to for the next 4 days. For the next 4 days. But when you're like 50%, you got something to look forward to. The next, you got something to look forward to in only 2 days instead of 4 days, maybe even 5 days sometimes. Um, so you really do have more stuff to look forward to, and that can keep you way more motivated than this would. And sadly, the reality is that programming just doesn't make up a huge part of development. And the majority of the time when you're going to be programming is in the early parts. The later part is primarily bug fixing and optimizing and scripts for different, uh, and some scripts that are going to be quite easy to write and are going to be quite repetitive because it's just for like different cutscenes and stuff. Um, so a majority of the time that you're going to be programming is going to be in early development when you're still is going to be in the early develop in the early parts of development when you're still when you're still making prototypes and stuff. Because after that, once you're done with prototypes and stuff, the amount of programming that you do is not that much. Due to the fact that you're pretty much done with writing everything. Maybe there's some bug fixes and some optimization that you need to do, but overall, the amount of programming that you need to do is going to decrease over time, and that's what this is meant to represent. So at first, you do a lot of programming, but as time goes on, you do less programming. In this case, you do not do less of the other stuff, so it should have stayed the same size, but I forgot to do that. The amount of making levels and other stuff should actually increase, because over time you do more of making levels and other stuff, and you do less programming. From my experience, obviously. So yeah. Now, for the future, I've been looking into graphics programming. I quite enjoy OpenGL, and I might consider learning Vulkan. I would love teaching some basic stuff about graphics programming at some point. I want to make some game engine tutorials at some point, just because I think it would be enjoyable. Whether that would be about existing game engines or how to make game engines or something like that, I don't know. And then all the other stuff too. We'll see what that other stuff will be, but I've considered making like ammunition modding tutorials or something like that at some point, so I think that would be enjoyable. And I don't really have a different channel to post it on, so here I think would fit the best. And I might make general programming tutorials too in the future. We'll see about that. But yeah, recently I decided to return to OpenGL, and I've kind of enjoyed OpenGL. And I must say, my understanding of both C++ and OpenGL by returning to it for like the 15th time has increased significantly. And I'm not about to stop here. I don't care how long it will take me to learn OpenGL, I'm gonna learn it. But I'll be spending the next 5 years learning it. I think it'll be worth it, because I'll be able to truly develop something great with it. And after that, there's always the option of learning Vulkan, but Vulkan is quite difficult, so yeah. But at the moment, I'm learning OpenGL. If I ever finish learning the basics of it, I might make a few tutorials on how to use it and so on. I might teach you some basics about making game engines or other stuff like that. Or like just Unreal Engine, Unity, or Godot tutorials. And then other stuff too, in case you're interested. As I mentioned again, I could make more general programming stuff related to Python or C# or some other languages. But that's the plan. So there will be a more diverse amount of content instead of it just being game development related like it's been for the past like 3 years now, I think. So yeah, this is the video. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.